Hi Taurus, it's your astrological prognosis for the year 2012 from me, Lada. Okay, always before you start, I recommend you find out what your ascendant sign is and your moon sign is. Everyone knows the sun sign, so basically if you're born April or May, the sun was in Taurus that time. You know your sun sign, but find out also your ascendant and your moon sign, and especially listen at least for the prognosis of the ascendant sign, because this is how a professional astrologer will do it if you went to him, always doing it with the ascendant. And basically, you can find out your ascendant and moon sign by going to my website astrolada.com, and there is an ascendant sign and moon sign calculator, and you just write the exact degree of your ascendant and your moon, and then you start listening for the prediction of that sign of the ascendant or the moon, but always start with the ascendant as well. But anyway, if you have your ascendant, moon or sun in Taurus, and we always place the sign that we're talking about in the first house. Here is the wheel of the horoscope. This is how it's seen, the stars as the sky is seen from the earth, you know. Basically, this is the earth in the middle, and you see here around the whole circle of the sky. And Taurus is in the first house because we're talking about it, you know. So sun or moon or ascendant in Taurus, this is the first house, and we're going to see how the planets in 2012 will be moving relevant to this sign. You see, there are different parts of the sky. So the planets that actually form destiny and life, and you know, that rule our fate are Jupiter and Saturn. And we're going to be looking where Jupiter is in relation to the sign of Taurus, and where also Saturn will be in 2012 in relation to the sign of Taurus, and also the eclipses. The eclipses are the other third factor that shapes reality and life and what's happening, so you have at least a general idea where things are taking you. So what's happening? Let's start first with Jupiter. And as you see here, Jupiter always expands, it gives with ease, it gives pleasure, you know, kind of things happen with more awareness and ease there, and without having to push so strong, so opportunity open up where Jupiter passes. And Jupiter, since when? Since 2011, from June, has been in your first house. Basically, it has been in the sign of Taurus. So if you have ascendant, moon or sun in Taurus, Jupiter has been in the same sign as it, but it's been only in the first 10 degrees, you know, here in the first little part, first 10 degrees. So it's been mostly affecting people in 2011 from the summer who have their ascendant and moon in the first 10 degrees of Taurus, or who have their sun, who were born in April, basically, April born Tauruses. And Jupiter now will go through the whole 30 degrees till around June. So till around June, Jupiter is still in your sign of Taurus and is bringing you opportunity Tauruses. And especially those Tauruses will feel it who are born in the second part, who didn't experience it this year, you know. They will start feeling it from February and March onwards for about 3 months. And Jupiter brings expansion to you, maybe new beginnings. You'll feel inspired, you'll feel more confident, whether it's a moon, sun, or ascendant. Jupiter is passing over in Taurus. You just start having more faith in life, more faith in yourself. Maybe you might have a awareness and awakening about getting a more philosophical outlook on life. Jupiter is a spiritual teacher, you know, so you start becoming wiser about life, and life starts coming to you with more ease because you have more faith and you're more positive generally. New opportunities opening for you. First house is the self, the body. Also, it can expand the body because Jupiter expands, you know, and because you become positive and ease on yourself, you know, it tends to grow. But it also brings new opportunities, you know. It also makes you more charismatic. Others want to be more around you, you know. And you've been feeling it already now. The second part, those born in May, those Tauruses born in May, they will feel it, you know, especially sometime in the spring, towards the end of the winter. And around June, you might be given new opportunities, whether it's in career, especially if it's your sun there, or if your moon or ascendant, it's to do also with life path and direction, expansion, something good happening, but also it can do a lot to do with relationships, something positive happening, because the ascendant and the moon, they have a concrete relevance, concrete connection to relationships and how others connect to you, you know, and you just it's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time because you, as I keep saying, you feel confident, you feel favored by life, and life will favor you. There is God is giving you, you know, it's making you, it's giving you happiness, and it's giving you more opportunities. Try and catch them. And after that, from June onwards, Jupiter is moving here. Here, Jupiter comes into your second house. So from June onwards, the second house is the houses of resources, financial resources more often, but it can be emotional resources. People you can rely on, like your family, like your very close friends, a shoulder to rely on, you know, people that support you, that makes you feel who you are, gives you a strong identity of who you are, and makes you feel supported, you know. And your resources, where Jupiter passes, again, expansion and increase, you have a chance from June onwards, especially if your ascendant is in Taurus, because the ascendants feel it the strongest, you know. You have a chance to expand your finances and resources. Maybe new ideas will come to you. Maybe, you know, people will be more supportive of you somehow, and you'll feel more confident of yourself, and somehow you'll be able to have more things around you, material things, resourceful things, you know, which is good, you know. Jupiter will stay there till the end of 2012, so financial increase finally for some of you, you know, which is quite positive. Now let's look at Saturn, the planet that gives with effort, the planet that contracts wherever it passes, you know. And one interesting event that is happening in 2012 is that Saturn from October is going to be in your 7th house, is this house opposite the sign of Taurus. So Saturn is in the opposite sign, in Scorpio, and 7th house is relationships. So from October onwards in 2012, guess what? Your relationship will be tested, and they'll become hard work. I don't want to scare you. It's not everyone is going to be breaking up, but you will become, Saturn is a place where you will become much more serious, where we become much more focused, and we cannot take any more we need to take a no-nonsense approach towards. And Saturn will stay in the 7th house till 2014, towards the end of 2014. So from the autumn of 2012 to 2014, your relationship are going to be tested. The ones that are relevant, they will stay in your life. They will even get consolidated, and they will become stronger. But those relationships that were not really bringing you strength, that were not equal, that were not equally based, even if it's business relationships, where there is equal give and take. This is 7th house. Equally giving and taking, not a relationship between someone, you know, if someone is giving more to the other in the love relationship or marriage, this will come to the surface. All kind of problems come to the surface where Saturn passes, and these are relationships. So if you've been sweeping under the carpet something, closing your eyes, thinking, oh, well, she's having a few glasses of wine at night, and you realize that actually your wife has been having a few bottles or a whole bottle, and she's an alcoholic. These things can come out, you know, problems from your partnership. Or if someone has been calling you only, you know, when he feels like, and he's been telling you, oh, I can't commit now, but I really love you, and I just broken up from a relationship, and I'm still healing from, you know, from my past relationship, so let's just have sex, but I really have feelings for you, but don't push me into taking it too seriously. You will not let them anymore to take advantage of you. This is what Saturn will do. You have a no-nonsense approach from October onwards. You know, you would step down and say, I cannot be treated like that anymore. I need something serious. And actually, those people, you might lose a lot of people. You might be chopping off the dead wood, and you might be losing people who are no longer necessary in your life, who are actually not in any way productive in your life, who are only hurting you, you know. Maybe you've been in a relationship that is in some way painful to you, and you've been trying to close your eyes till now. You will resolve it from October onwards. You have about 2 years to do this. And especially, who will feel it in 2012 the most? Those of you who have their ascendant or moon from 0 to 10 degrees Taurus. Remember, I told you, mark down the degrees of your ascendant or moon. It's going to show you who is going to be resolving these problems in relationship first, you know. Who is going to be meeting those problems first in relationships, and focusing on their relationships, and trying to sort out what is relevant and best for them in relationships. You know, you cannot anymore take things as they come. Your Saturn wants you to to reconsider and reevaluate those relationships and the people in your life. And those who have from 0 till 9 degrees ascendant on the moon, they will feel it the most. If you have your moon in Taurus from October 2012, also you can moon, because moon is also to do with place of living. You can be changing residence and place of living, 0 to 10 degrees in Taurus, you know. So might not be something you want to do really, but usually it can happen, you know, probably in 20-30% of those people who have their moon from 0 to 10 degrees, it will happen. Or those of you who are born from the 20th to the 29th of April, they will feel the Saturn influence. They will feel the Saturn influence, you know, from October 2012 onwards, you know, especially, you know, so they will, it means that they have their sun in Taurus, those people who are born from the 20th till the 29th of April. And the sun is not often so much to do with relationships that Saturn will test. It's your own goals in life that might be more possible tested, because the sun is to do with your goals, where you're headed in life, your projects in life. It's more like a career and action oriented. So it might be a very busy period for you, getting down to laying foundations, working, being tested, you know, getting much more serious about where you're headed and being much more focused on your ambitious to where you're headed. But those of you who haven't really sorted out what they want to do, or who are quite dissatisfied with their career, Saturn can bring this to the surface, you know, and can, those born from the 20th to the 29th of April, make them quite dissatisfied, brings them some power struggles, you know, bring them some frustrations in their plans, you know, or those of you especially who don't know what they want to do and where they want to go, they might feel very hard on themselves, very critical of themselves. That's what Saturn does, contracts you, you know, and they might have to downsize some of your goals and plans, so become more realistic. Saturn wants groundedness, wants compact and concrete results, and if your ideas are too grand, because the sun dreams, the sun creates the ideas and the goals in life, and if they're too unrealistic, Saturn will really clip them up, you know, from October onwards, especially those of you born from the 20th to the 29th of April, and you'll feel it from October onwards in 2012 to around the middle or the middle part of 2013. So your projects, your ideas will have to be either downsized or being more realistic some way, or you have to really work hard on them. Saturn never gives with ease, it always gives with a lot of effort, but if you do your job well, you will lay very strong foundations in that area, you know. And basically, where the eclipse is happening, the last thing we have to say, the eclipses right now, Taurus, they've been happening since 2011 from the summer, and they will continue towards the end of the summer of 2012. They've been happening in your second, and they always happen in the opposite houses. They always happen in two houses opposing. They've been happening in second and eighth house. So in the second house have been this Ketu influence that I'm talking about. It's a bit probably complex for you to understand. This is the one end of the eclipses. It's Ketu. It's called the tail of the dragon. And this is Rahu, the head of the dragon. Where the head of the dragon is, we usually have a bit more expansion, and the second house a bit more of emptying. So till June, till the summer, this area has been, and it started from the summer, and it will be still influenced to you. And these are financial access. Your partner's finances, your own finances, your own resources, your partner's finances. So basically, maybe there are some changes happening there. They've been happening since 2011, and they'll continue to happen till 2012. The eclipses bring sudden changes or bring a bit of tension, of worry in that area, financial area. But don't worry, because as we said, since from June, Jupiter, the expanding planet, goes into your second house, and the eclipses stop happening there. So any financial worries you have now, they'll start disappearing after June onwards, you know, when Jupiter comes and helps. But those eclipses have been affecting your financial areas and bringing you some worries and sudden changes there. But from June onwards, it will change. Okay, that's for the month. For the year 2012. I hope you understood me well what I meant to say. That's why I drew this chart. And I hope you enjoy the year 2012.